What's going on, everyone? My name is Patrick and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to share with you 7 different ways you can save money on your meal plan without having to spend hours on end couponing or eating that same boring ass dish you did every night back in your university days. Now, if you're looking to save more money overall in your life, make sure you click the link below this video in the description notes so you can enroll in my free financial game plan Kickstarter program. This will help you make the saving process easy, consistent, and enjoyable before your next payday. So if it sounds like you could benefit from that, go ahead, click on the link. I'd love to have you along. Now, back to the matter at hand, saving you some cash on your meal plan. Let's dive into this video. I love cooking and eating great food. And the idea of meal planning for so many years gave me this idea of a horrible existence. I remember I lived with a lot of guys in university who meal planned, right? They would use it to bulk up at the gym. And every Sunday, I would see the exact same thing happening in my kitchen. 7 meticulously laid out takeaway trays with the exact same meal inside of every single one. Chicken and broccoli, chicken and broccoli, chicken and broccoli, chicken and rice if they were really lucky on a Friday. And it just seemed so boring and like a horrible way to eat and a horrible way to live. Many years later, my ideas of meal planning have evolved. They've changed, and I am now happy to say that I'm a convert. It's a triple threat for me. It saves me time, it saves me money, and it keeps me healthy. The trifecta. But it took me many years to perfect my process and get the benefits of meal planning right. So what I thought I would do in this video is share with you 7 tips that I found along my meal planning journey to help save me time and money. So let's dive into the first one right now. Tip number 1 is to make it a ritual. Consistency is so key when it comes to building a successful meal plan. If we're not consistent, it's going to lead to a lot of disorganization, a lot of bad habits, and overspending. I think we've all been in this situation before. It's been a long work day. The idea of coming up with something to eat, going to the market, buying the stuff, cooking, cleaning, the whole process sounds exhausting, so we look for convenience. We grab that frozen pizza in the supermarket, or we ring up the takeaway down the road. To make meal planning a ritual, you need to make it a priority in the week. You need to pick a specific day and a specific time that you do it every single week. Put it in your calendar. Make it a non-negotiable. Now, over the years, I've come to notice that which day you decide to meal plan, Monday, Sunday, Thursday, it doesn't really matter at all. But what time of day you decide to meal plan matters a lot on your success rate. So when I used to try and fit meal planning into my work window of 9 to 5, I failed as many times as I succeeded. But when I started changing the time of day that I meal planned, my success rate improved dramatically. So what I started doing is either meal planning super early in the morning or super late in the evening, depending if you're a night owl or sort of a morning person. It's just a calmer time of day, those 2 windows. So anchor your meal planning to those specific time windows, and it will improve your success rate of actually building and consistently making meal planning a ritual. Now, this is what I do every single Sunday morning with my cup of coffee. 7 to 8 a.m. I meal plan every single week. It's gotten very consistent and I've made it a bit of a ritual. This is the exact tool that I use to meal plan, and it's super cool, very useful. If you want free access to this tool, just let me know in the comment section below. I would love to do a video where it just walks you through the tool so you guys can use it too. It makes meal planning so damn easy. With this tip, you are going to save money in 2 ways. 1, you're going to avoid the takeaway trap, reaching for that phone for convenience because you have everything organized and set up. And 2, you're going to shop only for the ingredients that you need instead of buying unnecessary items because you don't have a plan. Tip number 2 is that order matters. This is a slightly more advanced tactic, but something that I've been using a lot recently. When I first started meal planning, I didn't think this stuff mattered. I just picked 7 random recipes and plonked them in any old order that I wished. I didn't think it mattered, but man, I was totally wrong. What would end up happening is I'd buy ingredients and by day 6 or 7, something would go bad, or I'd cook something on Monday, leftovers would hang in the fridge till Friday, they would go bad, or they'd just take up space in the fridge. It wasn't an effective or efficient way to meal plan. So the pro tip here now, what I do is be very intentional with the order that I place my meals. So for example, we make a lot of stock on Sundays, so maybe we have a soup recipe on Sunday with some bread. And then I'll think, okay, I have stock left over. What recipe can I pick that has a lot of stock in it? Risotto, perfect. and then I would pin it to that. So I'd start pairing meals together that had similar ingredients. And this was a far more effective and far more efficient way to meal plan. By pairing meals together, this saved us a lot of money because we didn't need to buy as many ingredients, but also the stuff that we bought wouldn't go bad. We'd have the fresh stuff up at the front of the week, and the stuff that lasted a little bit longer, maybe potatoes or anything canned, that would go at the back end of the week, so we wouldn't waste any food. Tip number 3 is to make an emergency meal stash. Now, we are not perfect. Sometimes we're just lazy, we forget to shop an ingredient, or the last thing on our mind is to pick up that kitchen knife and cook. And having emergency stash meals in the freezer ready to go are a great way when you're low on energy, low on time, or just simply low on willpower. You can just grab them right out of the freezer, they're tasty, and they're good to go. But there's an effective and efficient way to actually build an emergency meal stash. There's 2 tips that I would recommend. Number 1 is pick meals that are easy to bulk cook. So things like curries, chilies, pasta sauces, things like that that are very easy to just add extra portions to. And the second tip is to try and fold it into your already existing meal plan. So what I mean by that is, let's say you don't have any emergency meals stashed in your freezer. For the next 4 Sundays, pick those bulky meals that you can cook. Curry one Sunday, chili next Sunday, pasta sauce next Sunday, and then a 4th one of your desire. And just make extra portions. Each time, set aside 3 or 4 portions of extra that you have of those meals and put them in your freezer. And then once you have enough accumulated, stop doing it. Then you just use the meals that are in your freezer. Once they're depleted, you just repeat the process all over again. These are just a few tips that will make it easier to build that emergency meal reserve. And it will save you money, again, because you won't fall into that habit of ringing that old takeaway curry down the road. Tip number 4 is to eat less meat. This is something my fiance and I have been talking about a lot recently, especially moving to Europe from North America. In Europe, meat is part of the meal. It isn't the meal in lots of cases. And it's certainly not the centerpiece of our meals 3 times a day, 7 days a week. Now, the implications for us go far beyond animal welfare. There's environmental issues. Meat production is one of the leading causes of climate change. Meat production, the greenhouse gases that are emitted from the production of meat, outweighs the entire world's transportation combined, according to PETA, which blew my friggin' mind. There's also the health risks. The links between a lot of red meat and heart disease are very, very well documented. And finally, from a monetary perspective, meat is just more expensive than vegetables. It's as simple as that. Now, I'm not suggesting that all of you run out there right now and become vegans or vegetarians overnight. That's not what we have done at all. What we've done is slowly try to reduce the amount of meat in our meal plan each week. So right now we're looking to strike a 75% veggie, 25% meat balance. But this has happened slowly over time. So that would be my pro tip, is to introduce vegetarian meals slowly into your meal plan. Don't go crazy and flip your meal plan upside down overnight. It's not going to be sustainable. It won't work. Try and incorporate 1 extra veggie dish into your meal plan every single week until you find that right balance for you. A lot of people are intimidated cooking vegetarian. They don't think it's tasty. They think it's not as nutritious. There's a lot of pushback, but I found some as a meat eater myself, I found some incredibly tasty vegetarian dishes out there. And I've linked my favorite 3 below this video. So go ahead, have some fun with it, try out some new recipes, and build your cooking repertoire. It will save you money by the simple fact that meat is more expensive than vegetables. If you're not ready to do this, if you're not ready to sort of try and introduce those vegetarian meals and you're still looking to save money in the meat department, what I would do is actually buy the less expensive cuts. That's something that we've started doing as well. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to sacrifice on quality or taste either. I genuinely, hand on heart, there's a flank steak or onglet steak at our local butcher that we enjoy better than the 4 times price T-bone or ribeye steaks. Genuinely, we do. It's more tasty. So just try and buy those meats that are less expensive and may take a little bit longer to cook and make tender. Now, tip number 5 is to shop local and in season. Now, I disagreed with this for so long. For many years, I've been going to food markets all over the world, and they never struck me as a really economical way to do your weekly food shop. I would always leave with a fucking ostrich egg or some rare Bavarian sheep's cheese thinking, how on earth have I never lived with this ingredient or product in my life? But then I realized that there are two kinds of markets. There's a tourist market and your local farmer's market. In London, we have Borough Market. It is an unbelievable display of exceptional produce and different rare ingredients from all over the world. It's an amazing culinary destination, and I take any person who visits London there to go see it. But this is an example of a tourist market. High prices, rare and sort of unique ingredients, and not a practical place to do your weekly shop. However, around London, you also have a ton of small local farmers markets. These are very modest 10, 20, 30 stall markets, which have wonderful local, cheap, delicious produce for you to buy. They usually don't have every single ingredient under the sun. Sometimes they won't have what you need, but you will save a lot of money, not only because the prices are usually very, very competitive, but also you're gonna save a lot on transportation costs. By buying local and in season, the beets that I buy from the UK farmers are going to be a lot more inexpensive than the mango from Brazil in February. Those transportation costs, what it takes to ship that mango halfway around the world, are passed on to me, the consumer. So shop in season, shop local, you will find deals that will work well for your wallet. The pro tip is find your local farmer's market, not your local tourist market. And there's two bonuses with this, really, is number one, you're going to expand your repertoire cooking in season because you're going to use a lot of ingredients that you never really used before, that butternut squash or those beets or something a bit more rare. And number two, it gives you the opportunity to vote with your wallet, supporting the local farmers in your area as opposed to the large corporations who only care about the bottom line. Tip number 6 is to make tonight's dinner next day's lunch. And this tip has been a complete revelation for me and has been so helpful in building my meal plans. My partner, my fiance, she could eat the same thing 3 times a day, 7 days a week. Tuna salad, job done. For me, no chance. I need a little bit of variety in my life. However, I found that eating leftovers is not as repetitive as it sounds. If I had to eat the same thing for lunch and then dinner, that would feel very repetitive. But tonight's dinner equals next day's lunch plan builds in time between those meals. You've had a night's sleep, maybe you've had some breakfast, coffee, a mid-morning snack, and then you have your leftovers for lunch. It doesn't make it feel nearly as repetitive. So the pro tip, what you do, whatever you're cooking for dinner, double it. We're cooking for 2, so I always make dinner for 4, knowing that we have 2 portions left over for next day's lunch. If you're a family of 4, cook for 8. That's how you make things so efficient and so effective. It will save you a lot of money because you won't be needing to buy meals out at lunchtime or maybe your kids go out for lunch. Everything is all prepared for everyone already. But the magic of this is the time it saves, man. It saves me at least 4 to 5 hours a week. I'm not having to think about what's for lunch, pull it out, cook it, clean the kitchen. It's just a huge, huge time saver for me. And on Sunday mornings, I only have to spend time planning 7 meals, 7 nightly dinners, as opposed to 14 meals, 7 dinners and 7 lunches. Plus the bonus, we all know that leftovers can taste so damn good the next day when they've had time to sit overnight in the fridge. Tip number 7, and by far the most controversial one, is intermittent fasting. This is something my fiance and I have been playing around with a lot recently. It's very, very new to us, and it is by no means for everyone. Go online, you can find as many articles telling you it's the greatest thing in the friggin' world, and just as many telling you it's a risk to your health. So make sure that if you do decide to intermittent fast, that you do seek some professional advice. Go speak to your doctor, make sure it is okay for you. The strategy isn't for everyone, but we have enjoyed testing it out. Our window is 16 hours. We stop eating dinner at 7. We don't eat again till 11 a.m. We haven't been perfect with it, but we have noticed some health benefits. Definitely given me more energy and definitely allowed my digestive system and my gut just to have a bit of a break, a bit of a rest to recharge. Now, under-eating is not the objective either, but I think 3 massive meat-based dishes per day is not what we need. It's more than we actually need. Unless you're, a super athlete or mega training where you need those extra calories, those extra meals. So intermittent fasting for us has been a great exercise to try and reduce one meal, just eat a little bit less, but still getting all the nutrition that we need through the day. The pro tip, if you do decide to fast, make sure you keep snacks on deck in the house, healthy ones, because when you eat your first meal at 11 a.m., you're gonna need something before 6 p.m. dinner. And we found that little snacks in the afternoon have helped keep us on track, keep us healthy, get what we need every single day, and make sure that we don't overeat. Now, intermittent fasting can save money because you eliminate one single meal per day, but this should absolutely not come at the expense of your health. That is far, far more important than any minuscule savings you can make on a breakfast. So like I said, make sure that you consult a health professional or doctor before trying any type of fasting. But I have noticed that now I only need to plan for 7 meals a week. When you pair this strategy with the one previously, about tonight's dinner equals next day's lunch, you're only planning 7 dinners. That's it, 7 ideas for the week instead of 21 total meals. And it saves you time, saves you energy, brain power, and a bit of cash. It's taken me years to perfect this meal plan, but I absolutely love it and there is no turning back. It saves me money, it saves me time, keeps me healthy, and avoids a lot of unnecessary food waste. It's a perfect solution for me. Remember, if you want to save more money in your life overall, don't forget to enroll in the free financial game plan Kickstarter program in the link below this video. I'll help you make the saving process easy, consistent, and enjoyable before your next payday. And finally, if you like these videos, give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, let me know what content you've enjoyed so I can make more of it for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.